So, if you don't do not have any doubt, shall I start today's class? Okay. So we were discussing about transformation, 2D transformation. In 2D transformation, we have discussed different kind of transformation: translation, scaling, rotation, shearing, and mirroring. We generally use transformation for animation. Means how we can manipulate our object position from one location to another location. So in the translation, a translation is applied to an object by repositioning it along a straight line path from one coordinate location to another coordinate location. And we use two parameter translation parameter tx and ty. Tx translation parameter, we translate our object with these distance in at the x-axis and this distance at the y-axis. Okay, so these are two. These are the original position of our object, and this is the translated position of our object. Here the coordinates are x and y, and the translated object's coordinate are x dash y dash. So we can easily write x dash equals to x plus translation parameter, and y dash equals to y plus translation parameter. Okay, this is the form of our uh, formula for the translation: our original object position plus our translation parameter. Then we will get our translated object position. In the matrix form, you can write x dash y dash equals to original object position xy plus translate coordinates. Okay, this is the our equation in the form of matrix. So this is the representation. P is the original position of object. T is the translated parameters. When we add these two, we will get the translated position. When we do any kind of translation, it happened in a straight line. Here, as you can see, we translated our object from this point to this point in a straight line. Okay, we have in this graph, we have translated a point from one position to another position. Suppose we want to translate a polygon from one position. Suppose this is our polygon, and we want to translate this polygon from this position to this position. It will again happen in a straight line. Any object, it point or straight line or polygon or circle or ellipse, anything, always we translate our object in a straight line. So the object in this translation, the object deformation is not there. Means the shape of object will always be the same. Okay, and it's a this kind of transformation or translation we call as a rigid body transformation. Rigid body transformation, because there is no deformation of object. First, suppose we want to translate an object from object or polygon from one position to another position. We translate each vertex from this location to this location. First we translate all these vertices from your origin object to translated object, then redraw your object polygon. So in this case there is a polygon. So when we translate a polygon from one location to another location, we will translate all these vertices, then redraw this object. Suppose you want to translate a circle from one location to another location. Suppose there is an original position of your circle and you want to translate this circle here to here. What you will do, you will translate only the center point from one location to a translated position and redraw this circle at this position, translated position. In the same case we will translate ellipse, means this is a rigid transformation, rigid body transformation. The next, as you can see here, if we have translated a polygon from one this location to this location, we first translate the all the vertices. There is a three vertices. First we translate the three vertices, then join these three vertices or redraw your object again. Okay. The next translation, next transformation is a rotation. In this rotation or two dimensional rotation of object is applied to an object by repositioning it along a circular path. In the translation, we translate our object in a straight line, but in the case of rotation, we repositioning of object in a circular path. Okay, as you can see here, P is the original position and P dash is a rotational position. Means after rotation, this path it followed is a rotational path. It's not a straight line. It's a rotational path. It's follow a rotational path, and there is one rotational point. As here, this object we are rotating this object with certain angle. Just consider it's a theta, and the rotation path is a circular, and the rotation point, this point is a rotational point, is called also pivot point. Is in this case your pivot point is a origin. Okay, what the formula we have derived for rotation is, just we consider our pivot point is a origin or rotational point is a origin. So this formula you will get, means you are in your, this is your rotation after the coordinate after rotation, and this is the rotational matrix. This matrix we called, it's a rotational matrix, and this is the position of your original object. So in the matrix form you will write x dash y dash equals to rotational matrix cos theta minus sin theta cos theta into your original object xy. So this matrix form you can write in this way. R is a rotational matrix, P is the original coordinates, and P dash is the coordinates after rotation. When your rotational point is the origin, but when your rotational point is not origin, it's some other points, then your equation will change like this. Here your rotational point is not a origin, it's a particular okay. This transformation can be described as a rotation about theta, and this is the rotational axis. So when this point, rotational point is not a origin, is in this case there's a point is q is a rotational point. At this point your object is rotating with angle this alpha. So the equation will this equation will write for when your rotational point is a origin. When your rotational point is q somewhere, the coordinate is uh, sorry qy, then you will just change, you will just write qx plus for the coordinate x, qx plus, you will change this with uh, px minus qx into the cos alpha minus py, you will change with py minus qy into sin alpha. And for the y coordinate you will write qy plus px minus qx and sin alpha plus py minus qy into cos alpha. Here just let me explain what's happening here. This is the your qx and this distance is your qy. You are just adding this into your this equation, qx here and qy this into your y coordinate, and your px is changing with this value, px minus qx. This is the difference. Okay, this is your px and this is your qx. You just subtract this px minus qx, you will get this term. And the same way this is sorry, this is your q sorry py, and this is your sorry py, and this is your qy. When you subtract py minus qx, you will get this. Okay, so you just substituting this value in your equation. When your rotational point is origin, you will get this equation when your rotational point is some point q. Is it clear, Arti?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, in this case we are just changing the we are just setting our rotational point is some other points except origin. Means your point is, the rotational point is q somewhere, and the coordinates of q is qx and qy, and we just substituting this value in your original equation, and you will get this formula. Okay, so when you
Sir,
yes please.
sir, please unlock the room. Aishwarya wants to attend the class.
Loud, थोड़ा loudly बोलिए.
Sir, please unlock the room. The room is locked.
Okay,
Actually.
okay, 1 minute. Okay, now it's unlocked. Okay. So when you write this equation, what we get after your rotational axis is not a origin. Your equation will be in this form: p dash equals to rotational matrix r into your given point p plus some term t, translation term. This term we are adding in your r. This is, suppose is considered is your r, so this term we are adding is considered t. So you will get in this form: p dash equals to a rotational matrix into your original coordinates plus t. This is a translation parameter. We are shifting these points from this to this is the difference, means translation, this kind of translation. So your now your equation in this form. Okay, but when your rotational point is origin, your matrix form is p dash equals to r. R is a rotational matrix and p is your original object position. Now the let's see the scaling in the rotation. We also follow the same way as a rigid body transformation. We first transform our points to our rotated point, then redraw your object. Okay, suppose you want to rotate your an polygon from one position to another position. Suppose this is your polygon and you want to rotate this object with this, just consider this axis with 90 degree. What you will do, you rotate this like this, you will get some kind of this kind of architecture. What you will do, you just transform these vertices of your object and redraw your object. Okay, what I want to say here, if you want to transform or rotate your object, first you will rotate your coordinates. Okay, then you will redraw this object the given at the rotated position. This kind of transformation we call it a rigid body transformation. Means in this case our object is not deformed, means the shape is not changed. The next transformation is scaling. In the scaling, the transformation alter the size of object, means the size of object may be changed. It may be grow or shrink or maximize or minimize its sizes. Okay, in these two parameter, sx and sy is the scaling parameter. So when this is the given, there's one line and we are scaling up with this scaling parameter sx and sy. Okay, and our fixed point at this point, at which point we are applying this scaling, is our origin again. Okay, so this equation you will get, we already discussed, and this is the form of your equation. P dash is a scaled object and S is a scaling parameters matrix or scaled matrix, and P is your original coordinates of your object. Okay, so your equation is in this form. Sx is a scaling matrix, y into your original object. Okay, this form, it follow this form. P dash equals to S into P. Okay, this scaling we are doing when your fixed point is your origin. As you can see here, your fixed point is origin. Different cases we have discussed when the sx and sy values are greater than 1 or less than 1 or equals to or not equals to. All the cases we have discussed, but in this so this fixed point we can define as that we can control the location of scaled object by choosing a position called fixed point. This is our fixed point. In this case, our fixed point is origin. Okay, this fixed point may be your a vertex of your object or centroid of your object or any point. This fixed point may be vertex of your object. Okay, any vertex of your object or a centroid of your object, or maybe at any point. It doesn't mean it's inside your object. Okay, so when your scaling or fixed point is not a origin, this equation you will get here. As you can see, your scaling a fixed point is this point. F is a scaling point and correspond at this point respect to your scaling your object. Okay, so your equation will change like this. S dash x dash equals to your the scaling you're doing what in the when the origin plus one minute, sorry. Equation x dash equals to your coordinate. F coordinates are x, f, and yf. This is the fixed point coordinates, xf and yf. So you will write xf plus x. This is your, suppose your scaling, this is original coordinates, this point is just consider xy. So you will write x minus xf into your scaling parameter at the x-axis. In the same way, y equals to yf plus what the change is there, y minus yf. So you will write y minus yf into sy. When your scaling point is not origin point, this equation you will follow. Here your scaling, your fixed point is f, and the coordinates are coordinates of f are x, f, and yf. Okay, so you will just substitute this value in your equation and you get this. Okay, so, to the form of your matrix, you will get p dash equals to your scaling parameter into the original coordinates plus t, the translation parameter, this. So now your form of equation is this. This is your form of equation. When you're scaling to the, sorry, in the scaling, your fixed point is not a origin. Is it clear? Let's see. There's an one object. Let's consider this is your object. P1, P2, and P3 are the coordinates. And suppose this point is your fixed point. XF and YF are the coordinates value. Now you want to scale up or scale down or scaling of your object with respect to this fixed point. What you will do, you will calculate from these fixed points. You will apply the formula for these fixed point, this fixed point, and then you will scale up or scale down the object. So is it clear? So we have seen translation, rotation and scaling of object when your rotational point or fixed point are not a origin. Okay, it's some different points. Okay, so this equation we will get. Now discuss the matrix representation of these transformations. In many cases, you will see there is a sequence of transformation. Sequence of transformation means some you need to first sequence of transformation means you are applying more than one transformation at the same time. First, you want to translate your object from one location to another location. Then you want to rotate this object with certain angle. Then you want to apply some scaling. Means there is a sequence of transformation you are applying on your object, on your same object. So as you can see, as you've seen, the equation of your transformation in this form, P dash equals to M1, just consider M1 into P plus M2. This form we have seen of for all the transformation, where we have M1 is a maybe a rotational matrix or scaling matrix, and M2 is a additive matrix or translation. Translation term or translation matrix. Okay, 1 minute. I am just repeating. For translation, we have seen the matrix form P dash equals to P plus T For the rotation, we have seen the matrix form equals to R into P. Okay. In the scaling, we have seen the for the scaling, we have seen the S into P plus T. So this is the general form of your matrix or the formula of your transformation. Here M1 is a multiplicative matrix and M2 is a additive matrix or translation term. Okay, this translation term is associated with object at which translation it is shifting location. Okay, when your rotational point is not a origin point, is first it is translate this point from this point. So this term is depend on your translation parameter. In the same way, your fixed point. In the same way, when you just applying the translation on your object. Okay, and M1 is your rotational matrix or scaling matrix is the multiplicative matrix. So when we apply more than one transformation on an object or sequence of transformation on an object, we need what we will do. We first suppose there is in this order we want to transform your object. First we want to translate an object from one location to another location. We will calculate the translated object from one location to another location. Then we will rotate that object at what the angle you want to rotate that object. Then you will scale up or scale down what scaling you are required. Okay, so this order you will follow. You will calculate three times this calculation, first for the translation, then rotation, then scaling. Okay, so how we can efficiently can calculate these calculation of formula or sequence of transformation. We need a general form of this general form of equation. Means we suppose what we required is a general form of your equation. We want to remove this term and we want to only one term is multiplicative term. So we can just write m1 equals to m dash m double dash or m double dash, 3 double dash. So you can easily change this m1 with this term and you will get your translated object. Means you can apply the sequence of transformation in a single shot. So we need to eliminate these terms or additive terms from your equation. How we can eliminate these terms? Okay, how we can eliminate these t from your equation? To get rid of this t, we use homogeneous coordinate system. We will use homogeneous coordinate systems. In this homogeneous coordinate system, we will just change the matrix size. Till now we have used 2 cross 2 matrix. Now for the homogeneous coordinate system we will use 3 cross 3 matrix. Now see what is the homogeneous coordinate system. I think the purpose is clear what we are doing this. So in this case, we have first translated, rotate, and scale up. For the homogeneous coordinate system, uniform representation of translation, rotation, and scaling means we are getting the uniform equation for all these general transformation. So this is the way in this homogeneous coordinate system. 1 minute. Firstly, we used for change the size of matrix 2 cross 2 matrix into a 3 cross 3 matrix. What we are changing the size of matrix, we will see. Just wait. Why we are changing the size of matrix? Because these allow us to express all transformation equation as a multiplicate in the form of matrix multiplication. Means when we change the size of matrix, we can write all this transformation equation into this form, m into P, where M is the multiplicative terms. So it's allow us to write all this equation in this form. Means we have removed our additive term from your equation. So what the term additive term we are writing, it has been removed when we write our matrix form into 3 cross 3 instead of 2 cross 2. Okay. So the how we'll write the homogeneous coordinate? Suppose your points are x, y in two-dimensional matrix. In, just consider your points x, y are the coordinates for some point into coordinate. We will write this coordinate into 3D matrix or three-dimensional matrix or homogeneous coordinate. We will write these points as S x, x sorry y h and n h, where you can x can determined by the x h by h or y equals to y h by h. So this is the form. Your point, suppose your point, just consider your point is 2 5. You want to write this 2 5 coordinate into 3D matrix or homogeneous coordinate. You will write in this form. You can just write 2 5 1. Here as you can see, when you calculate the x, sh is 2, by 1 you will get 2, x equals 2. This is the value. Sh is 2. When you divide by 1 you will get 2, this point, and y you will get yh is equals to 5, by h equals to 1 you will get this point 5. So this is a 2 and 5, you can see. Or even you can write this point in homogeneous coordinate as 4 10 2. Again you apply the calculator, you will get the 2 5. 4 by 2 2 and 10 by 2 5. Okay, so even you can write 8 20 by 2. Again you will get this point 2 5. So h is a division of this x and y. Sh sorry s x h x y. Okay, so these are your homogeneous points. But always your h is a non-zero number. If your h is 0, your point will be infinite. Okay, when any number you will divide by 0, you will get the infinite number. Okay, so always your h should be a non-zero number. Is it clear? So now you can see how we can write these equations of transformation in a multiplicative term. Okay. Now you can see the translation matrix in a multiplicative terms. And before this homogeneous coordinate, we were writing the equation of translation as this: x y plus px into ty. This is the way we are following. Here tx ty is the additive matrix. Now we have changed this form in this way in the multiplicative terms. Now the equation is this, and now when we calculate this, you will get this. Here 1 into x, sorry, x dash equals to 1 into x plus 0 into y plus tx into 1. Ultimately what you are writing, t plus x plus tx is the rx, and y you can write y dash equals to 0 into x 1 into y plus 1 into 1, sorry ty into 1. So you will write y plus ty. These are y. So now you can see this equation we can write in a multiplicative form. Here p dash equals to t. You can say this is our translation matrix into your original coordinates P. Now you can see our formula is changed into a multiplicative form. Okay, the same way you can write the equation for rotation and scaling in this multiplicative form. As you can see here, r is a multiplicative and x this p is your original coordinates, and you can write this equation in this form. Okay, so all these three equation in the same form, which is p dash, same form p dash equals to some matrix into your original coordinates. Now we can apply this all this transformation in a single shot using change the value of m. Is it clear? Is it clear to all of you? Okay, so the next topic is composite transformation. Next is composite transformation. In the composite transformation, we just again the same way. In the composite transformation, there is a sequence of transformation. The sequence may be a translation plus translation, translation plus rotation, or translation plus scaling, or scaling plus rotation. Means any kind of possible sequence you have to follow for composite transformation. So first case, just consider we have the translation case. We want to translate our object two times. Translate T1, then again translate T2. Means there is a two sequence of transformation, T1 followed by T2. Okay, T1's translation parameter are just considered Tx1, Ty1, and translation parameter by translation 2 are Tx2 and Ty2. You can write translation parameter. First, calculate for the translation parameter for T1 for x1, y1 into your original object P into your translation into second translation with respect to translation parameter Tx2, T2, y. Okay, so what the equation for translation T1 you can write, if you remember, 1 1 1 0 into Tx1 Ty1 0 0 0. This is your original object xy1. And for the equation of T2 you will write 1 1 1 0 Tx2 Ty2 0 0 0. If you multiply these two matrix, you will get a single matrix. This, when you multiply this matrix, you will get 1 into 1 1 plus 0 into 1 into 1 0 0 into 0 and Tx plus, I'm just writing the equation what you will get after this, Tx1 plus Tx2 1 1 sorry 0 Ty1 plus Ty2 0 0 1. This is a single matrix you will get when you performing the two translation at a single shot. Okay, so this matrix you will write and you get the two translation in the same, for the same object. Just case, suppose this is your point, you want to translate this point from first here at this position Tx, then this position T, in the translation T2. Okay. So what you just writing, you're translating this object from this. Okay, the one single shot. There's no need to go this point. You can direct jump from this point to this point. In the same case, you can apply the rotation. In the same way, you can apply for the rotation. Suppose you want to rotate an object with theta 1, then theta 2. Means we are applying two time rotation. Sequence of rotation means first we are rotating object with theta 1, then after rotating you are again rotating this object with theta 2 angle. So what the equation I'm just writing the matrix, rotational matrix, if you remember. Cos x, cos theta minus sin theta 0, sin theta cos theta 0 0 0 1. For the theta 1, it's a theta 1. For theta 2, again you will write cos theta 2 minus sin theta 2 0 sin theta 2 cos theta 2 0 0 0 1. When you multiply these two matrix, you will get cos cos theta cos theta 1 sin cos theta 2 plus minus sin theta into this, and you can just multiply these two matrix and you will get a single matrix, and this single matrix you can rotate your object two times in a single using single matrix. Okay, so all these operation you can perform in a single using single matrix, means a sequence of transformation you can apply in a single. Is it okay? So if you have any doubt, you can ask. So the next is general pure rotation. Okay, so just consider you want to rotate an object. You want to rotate an object with this rotational point. As you can see on your screen, this is your object and this is your rotational point. Okay, what you will do, you can directly apply the formula what we have derived, or the second way, you can translate this object into your origin, means that this rotational point into origin. Just shift your object from this rotational point at the origin, then rotate your object at which angle you want to rotate your object, then again repositioning your object with the original position. Okay, so in this way we translate this object at the when you set your rotational point as a origin, then rotating your object with what the rotational angle is required. After rotating, you just again shift to your original position, so you will get this position. Okay, you can see this formula you will apply. First you translate your matrix, so translate your object with when you set your rotational point as a origin as using this equation, then we rotate our object with angle theta, then again translate our object with the at the original position. Okay, using this simple way you can follow this rotation. This is the matrix we will get after the multiplication of these two. In the same way, you can do the scaling with respect to point this fixed point f. What you will do, you just first translate your object with translate your object fixed point at the origin and apply the scaling. Here we apply the scaling. This is our scaled object. Then again repositioning your object at the original position. You will get this object after scaling with rotational fixed point f. Okay. I will share this PPT, then you will get clear what I want to say. Okay. So please write the attendance in chat. Write P in attendance. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Or after writing the attendance, you can leave the class if you do not have any doubt. So if you read the attendance, I am just closing this meeting.